Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where last episode we got our economy, well, not exactly turned around, but existing in some form. That's the term I'm going to use. Fantastic. So we're currently building a coal mine, and if we look in here, we don't really have expensive goods right now. Fair enough. We are going to work on our market access up here as soon as we can. We're going to get this coal mine done and work on getting our wood a little bit more present. That'll be absolutely great. But our GDP has gone up by almost 50%. That's huge. Our standard of living hasn't really kept up. For the moment, that's okay. And what are we running for our taxes? Because I am noticing that we are on an unacceptable government. Okay, we're on medium taxes right now. So, can we fix our government? The answer is no. Okay, noted. Our legitimacy for now is what it is. There's not a lot we can do about that, but what we can do is we can finish up this coal mine, and hopefully our legitimacy will recover. Or we'll be able to fix it in some way. That would be nice. So we're producing a total of 10 construction each week. Prussia has declared Russia to be their rival. I saw that and immediately was like, oh, this is pertaining to us. And then I was like, wait a moment, we're Argentina. We're not Prussia. Oh, I'm still used to that. The good news, though, is that we're no longer getting -10 education access. So that's good. Gold has been depleted over here. Or, where is this? In Chile. It can no longer support as much gold. Noted. They never had a gold mine there. That's interesting that it depleted without a gold mine. We'll have to keep an eye on our own and see how that ends up going. But for the moment, our gold mine is actually losing money right now. That's exciting. Barely, though. It's barely losing money, and I think it's okay. As the price of coal comes down, since we just finished this, that should fix it. In theory. So our coal mine here is now being expanded, and that'll be great. So we need to keep an eye on our market access, that's for sure. In Mendoza, it dropped. We can't do too much about that right now, other than we knew that this would likely happen. Other than we can run a road maintenance here in Mendoza. Do we need the greener grass campaign up here anymore? I don't feel like we do. So we'll drop that. Okay, there we go. So that will help. I don't think that will fix our infrastructure over here. Yeah, as expected. So that's okay. We have this colony down here growing. That's good. The US has started to improve relations with us. They're protective of us. I'm okay with this. Cool. So that seems absolutely fine. And we're making a decent amount now. Once we get our interest gone, we're going to be making a sizable amount. Not enough to increase our construction, unfortunately. But we'll be getting there. How are we doing on our population? Plus 0.44%. That's a bit of a yikes. And I don't think we need all of these logging camps, of course. So we need to take a look. What is the price of iron, tools, and coal right now? Those are our main questions that we're wondering about. So what is the highest price thing right now? Well, actually, out of those, it's wood. Coal is a little lower. Iron is in low demand right now. And so are tools. So it's going to be coal and wood that we need to alternate between. And I think we're going to build 2 logging camps. And then we're going to grab a coal plantation. Or coal plantation. A coal mine in... Let's see. Just in Mendoza? Yeah, Mendoza's our only location with coal mines. Noted. I don't love it, but noted. So we're going to drop that down to here. Excellent. And we'll drive down the price of wood a little bit. And this will likely end up... Actually, do we have any throughput increases that we can do? Tooling workshops could go to steel tools. $20 steel. How much steel is produced by a steel mill? 65. Okay, it's not profitable right now, but that should change. So I'm going to alt-click to put this at the top of the queue, but it's not going to be at the top of the queue. We're going to have this go after our coal mines, like that. Now, that may drive up the price of iron, and we'll move up an iron mine in... Yeah, over here should be fine. Cool. And we'll place that after our steel mill. Cool. So we'll get that underway, and we'll be able to jump up to steel tools at that point. That would be great. So let's hop over into our urban here, and furniture manufacturers could use precision tools. Hardwood is produced in logging camps. Current price is 0% of base price. I don't think it's hugely necessary at this moment. So let's hop over here. Livestock ranches could go to slaughterhouses. And that'll drive up the cost of tools. That's okay. We're completely fine with this. Harvesting tools as well. So that should be good. We'll keep an eye on the price of tools now that we've made those changes. Okay. So with those changes, what happens to the price of tools? Tools do indeed become mega expensive. So we're going to queue up a tool manufactory here, a tooling workshop, producing 60 tools. I want to check to see what is our tool deficit. Minus 71. Okay, so we should make at least one here. I put that at the top. Do we want it to actually be at the top, though? Is that actually the location we want this to be? No. I want it to go after the logging camps, but before the coal mine steel mills. Something like that. So we'll get this logging camp done. Actually, I want it to go in between the two logging camps. Like that. There we go. So we'll get that tool mill under, or tool workshop rather, under production. And eventually we're going to be able to switch our tooling workshops over to steel tools. And that will be much better production. But we're not there yet. Furniture manufactories up to precision tools would be nice if we thought we could afford the tools and hardwood right now. And I don't think we can at this exact moment. Maybe we can revisit that once our tooling workshops are done. So that's the overall idea right now. The number of radicals dropped dramatically. I like it. Why did it drop? Increases in standard of living. Fair enough. So that's good. Our standard of living is starting to come up. Beautiful. Railways have now been unlocked. So that's a big deal. Rail transportation, of course, has its own special needs, and they're very special. So if we were to build railways, we need coal and engines. So before we can build railways, we need to build motor industries. What do motor industries need? Steel. So we can build a motor industry in, say, Santa Fe. There we go. And I'm building it there because we're building a lot of stuff in Argentina. I just want to spread it out a little bit. So we'll build a single motor industry in Santa Fe. Actually, put that at the bottom. And we'll move that on up. There we go. But we definitely want that to be built after our steel mill and iron mine. There we go. So we'll get that underway. And we can get ourselves another research here. What do we want? Well, we kind of don't want anything over here, I feel like. We're super close to intensive agriculture. Let's just get that finished. That should finish up, like, on this tick. There we go. Cool. Now let's head over to society. How long will it take at this point? Let's see. Postal savings would increase our maximum cash reserves. Noted. Maximum infrastructure from population and construction sector max level leads to steel frame buildings down this way. That might not be a bad way to go. So we'll go for modern sewerage for right now. That'll be fine. And I would definitely like to think about getting an additional construction sector. When would we go about doing that? Mass communication was just unlocked. That's nice. Undeserved blame, huh? Some Plantinian people are unfairly blaming the poor living conditions in Chaco on their Quatia neighbors. We must all learn to live together. After all, we gotta work. So, a construction sector would be pretty expensive. And we can't get away with it right now. So that's for sure. I do think that it is fairly necessary that we queue up a railway here and here. Of course, we can't really do too much with it right now without that motor industry. So we're going to go to our construction and move these down to be after the motor industries. And we're starting to get quite a queue here. That's not just our standard queue, right? Our standard, this is our filler stuff. We're starting to get quite a queue here. This is 300 weeks away. Like, that's a long time. No doubt about that. But the economy is definitely starting to come online. Tools are still expensive, and we have an input goods shortage of tools. But we're working on that. So our tooling workshops will be done in 30 weeks. That's great. Our colonizations are continuing, but what we need... Oh, that's actually much better pop growth. 0.6%. That's come up by a decent chunk. Almost a 50% increase. Huh. I guess that's just due to our standard of living. I like it. How much of that is due to... I wish we saw a breakdown of how much of that is due to, like, immigration compared to how much is birth rate. I think you can see that somewhere. Maybe. I think I saw that somewhere, but that's fine. Plus 10% capitalist investment pool contribution. No longer being provided. Okay. Well, that's fine. Our investment pool isn't all that impactful at this point. Actually, 514. That's not bad. That's better than I thought it was, that's for sure. Noted. So this tooling workshop is going to be done in 22 weeks. And that will deal with our tool shortage. Chile is improving relations, sure. We're not too concerned right now about things that are happening externally. We want to get our internals fixed. And realistically, our GDP has almost doubled. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. This pop growth is good, but we do have some unemployment and some peasants. Okay, we just have some peasants. Fair enough. Let's check in on our mines over here. Gold mine is actually profitable with an input goods shortage of tools. That surprises me. Quite a lot, actually. Wild. Okay, well, that's fine. Price of fish has skyrocketed. I like it. And standard of living has gone up to 11. So we're at almost double the minimum expected standard of living. So that's really, really good. What is the standard of living in, say, Brazil? 10.7. So we're slightly ahead of Brazil in terms of standard of living. Their GDP is really tiny. Oh no, this is in Santa Catarina. Hang on, I want their overall. This is more like it. Okay, their standard of living is a bit above ours. Their GDP is about 8 times ours. But their population is also about 5 times ours. So our GDP per capita is actually better than theirs. That's a good sign. I like it. So we're going to get these tooling workshops done in 8 weeks. And we've definitely got some angry people in our government. A government reform like this would probably be for the best. But this is still the best we can do as far as our government acceptability. So, -2 opposition interest group approval. Current legitimacy value is 40. And that is coming from the composition, how well the composition of the interest groups in government fits with the country's laws. Okay. Raising or lowering taxes, yeah. So, this is fine. We can get it up a little bit, but not up a threshold, so I don't think it's worth actually changing anything here. Because we have to get past that 50 threshold. Hey, plus 10% capitalist investment pool. That's kind of huge, actually. I like it. That's really, really good. So our tooling workshop is going to finish up here, and we can think about increasing some of our... Let's see, urban centers? No, probably not. Yeah, probably not. Not right now, anyway. In our rural area, we can definitely go to soil-enriching farming, but we will need fertilizer to get that done. Intensive grazing ranch. That'll produce fertilizer, but it'll consume more grain. Okay, noted. Do it. So that's okay. We could also definitely move to rail transportation. It'll consume transportation. For the time being, we need to not do that. Not until we get our railroads built. So that's okay. We're going to be finishing up our tooling workshop very shortly. And I'd really like to get to the point of getting a second construction going. A second construction sector. That's the term I'm looking for. That would be really nice. Maybe once this tooling workshop finishes up, the price of tools will be low enough. Because tools are very expensive. There's a grain input goods shortage right now. Okay, so if there's a grain input goods shortage, then before this logging camp, we should actually find our wheat farms and bring that up to top. There we go, and drop that down to be something like this. Cool. So we'll get that underway and get that wheat farm building. 2 Sicilies refuse to become the protectorate of Russia. Hilarious. Okay, so how's the price of tools doing now? It has dropped somewhat. Okay, it's dropping dramatically. Good. That's exactly what we wanted to see. This tooling workshop is still hiring. So that's great. We've got plenty of tools then. No problem whatsoever there. And how are we doing? 4.17k is our construction cost right now. We're really close to being able to expand a construction sector. Really, really close. We're only paying 917 in interest right now. I think we do it after we finish this wheat farm. So we build a construction sector in... probably in... Mendoza? No, that's low market access already. We build it then in Argentina. I don't love it there. Cordoba. We'll build it in Cordoba. Okay, so that goes there, and we are not going to build it, you know, here. Let's go to our construction list. Construction list. There we go. And we're going to build that after the wheat farm. Are we? Yes. We have an input goods shortage of grain. Getting that fixed is going to be the top concern. And then this logging camp will deal with this expensive government good. Cool. So these railways are getting further away, but that's a big part of the reason why we want to expand our construction. We've definitely got this economic snowball starting to roll, and we just have to keep it up at this point. So that's great. We're going to finish up this wheat farm in 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks now. Beautiful. What's our price report looking like? Meat, services, fabric. Okay. That's fine. Excellent. So this wheat farm is about to finish, and we're going to get a little bit of work done on this construction sector. Beautiful. 5 weeks until that's complete. Now, we might run a deficit for a little bit here once we get this going. It's going to be close. That's for sure. We'll see how that ends up going. But it is definitely going to be close. But increasing our construction capacity by another 50% is going to be huge. That is going to be an absolutely enormous increase to our construction. So let's take a quick look here. Our total construction queue length right now is 8,866 weeks. We finished that up, and as that gets hired in, which will happen eventually, gold has been discovered in Peru, Bolivia. Sure. As this gets hired in, it will start to produce additional construction. Excellent. And this may drive the price of some of these goods up. We'll keep an eye on that. But eventually we're going to be hitting 15 total construction. So that's 2K. And yes, our balance is definitely dropping. That is expected. Our interest is also still falling, but we're still positive for the time being. That's great. Okay, that's 12 construction. Excellent. 3.4K here. We can see the price of iron and the price of wood is quite high. So I'm actually going to move this, not the steel mill, I'm going to move this iron mill, or iron mine, up so that that is here. The logging camps will help offset our wood costs. I wouldn't be surprised if we go slightly negative here. But yeah, 63.23 weeks, and we're still not quite maxed out with our construction sector here. So that's great. 61.08 weeks. And yes, we are very slightly negative right now. Once we finish up this logging camp, that should fix that, or at least help it dramatically. Cool. So that's done, and as that works its way through, we should start having our wood costs drop off. In theory. Yeah, that appears to be correct. Our price of wood is dropping. Our price of iron is still going to be quite high. There's no doubt about that. So iron price is in the Argentinian market. Yeah, it's just chilling up here. But we are now at our maximum construction, which is great. So we can now look at our construction queue and note that it's 58.83 weeks now. That is 3,000 weeks cut off of this queue. That's so much. That is so much. We do need to get our costs down a bit of wood and iron. We did finish up our logging camp here, which is currently hiring. And so that's continuing to produce. Excellent. In the Argentinian market, the price of wood is still dropping. It's still going to be a little bit high, I think. Yeah, it's still considered an expensive good. It is at 26.7%, 25.6%. Yeah, we're going to need another logging camp eventually. But we could definitely bring this guy up a bit and park it about right here. How are we doing on the price of coal right now? Coal is at minus 13.8, so I'm actually not concerned about coal for the moment. We will be concerned about coal later. That's for sure. But yeah, just that price of wood has dropped our costs a decent amount. I love it. So the price of wood is at 28.8. It's still considered expensive. So we do definitely want to get that logging camp built. That'll be the next job after this iron mine. But the iron mine should bring us back into profitability. And that'll be absolutely great. Our GDP has more than doubled this episode. That is amazing. I really like that. That's great. It is, however, about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to continue to increase our GDP. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentowin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Unisoul, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.